going to start out with a meditation. Take a breath and continue in the vein that you were in at first. I am sustained by the love of God. 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 Lesson 50 from A Course in Miracles. I am sustained by the love of God is the answer to every problem that will confront you. I am sustained by the love of God is the answer to every problem that will confront you today, tomorrow, and throughout time. Do you know that in this world, you probably believe that you are sustained by everything but God? That means you probably have your faith placed in the most trivial and insane symbols. You probably believe in the most trivial and insane symbols. You probably believe that you're sustained by pills, taking the right pills. You may have your faith placed in money. You may believe that if you just had more money, things would be better. If you just had more money, things would be better. Your faith may be placed in protective clothing. If I make sure I have on the right clothes, I'll be protected. Your faith may be placed in influence, prestige. Your faith may be placed in being liked. Your faith may be placed in knowing the right people, which is an endless list of forms of nothingness that you endow with magical powers. I'll say it again. In this world, generally people believe that they are sustained by everything but their Creator. Their faith is usually placed in pills, money, protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the right people, and an endless form of nothingness that we endow with magical powers. Putting your faith in money and all this stuff outside you, that's your replacement for the love of God. Putting your faith in everything outside of you, like pills and money and all that stuff, these things are cherished to ensure a body identification. These things are songs of praise to your frightened mind. Don't put your faith in the worthless. Don't put your faith in the worthless. Don't put your faith in the worthless. The worthless will not sustain you. The worthless ultimately is putting your belief in pills, money, protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the right people. That will not sustain you. It will not sustain you. It will not sustain you. Only the love of God will protect you in all circumstances. Only the love of God will lift you out of every trial. Only the love of God will raise you high above all the perceived dangers of this world into a climate of perfect peace, a climate of perfect safety. Only the love of God will lift you out of every trial that you think you are going through in your life right now. The love of God, that means God's love for you. Your Creator's love for you will transport you into a state of mind. Your Creator's love for you will transport you into a state of mind. Your Creator's love for you will transport you into a state of mind that nothing can threaten, nothing can disturb, and where nothing can intrude upon your eternal calm. Money's not going to do it. Pills aren't going to do it. Special relationships are not going to do it. Protective clothing is not going to do it. Being liked, knowing the right people, none of those things are going to solve any real problem that you may think you have. So don't put your faith in illusions. Don't put your faith in false ideas. False ideas, illusions will fail you. So what do? You put all your faith in the love of God. You put all your faith in the love of God. What does that mean, to put your faith within the love of God within you? What does that mean? I keep hearing that, but what does that mean? It means that you put your faith in the eternal within you. You put your faith within the changeless in you. You put all your faith into the forever unfailing in you. That's what it means when it says, put your faith into the love of God within you. Put all your faith into the love of God within you. Put all your faith in the love of God within you. Put all your faith in the love of God within you. Put all your faith in the eternal, the changeless, and the forever unfailing within you. That's what it means. Put your faith in the eternal, the changeless, and forever unfailing within you. This is the answer. This is the answer to whatever confronts you today. Yes, even that. Through the love of God within you, through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Did I say without effort and ensure confidence? Through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort, 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 ensure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. I say, tell yourself this often today. Tell yourself, through the love of God within me, I can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Through the love of God within me, I can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Through the love of God within me, I can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Through the love of God within me, I can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. It is a declaration of release. It is a declaration of release from the belief in idols. Now, what's an idol? An idol is your belief that you're sustained by appeals. An idol is the belief that you are sustained by anything other than the universe, anything other than love, anything other than your creator, anything other than God, which all are the same things. It is your acknowledgement of the truth about yourself that through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. That is actually your acknowledgement of the truth about you. So, let this idea, I am sustained by the love of God, let that sink deep into your consciousness. Repeat that idea. I am sustained by the love of God. Sustained by the love of God. Think about it. I am sustained by the love of God. Let related thoughts come to help you recognize it's true, it's true. Allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection. Allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection. Allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection. I allow peace to flow over me like a blanket of protection. I allow peace to flow over me like a blanket of protection. I allow peace to flow over me like a blanket of protection. I allow peace to flow over me like a blanket of protection. I allow peace to flow over me like a blanket of protection. So let no idle and foolish thoughts enter to disturb your innocent mind, you powerful child of love. Don't let any idle or foolish thoughts enter to disturb the innocent. That means the holy mind of the child of God. That means you are an innocent mind. You are an innocent mind of love. You are an innocent mind of love. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the kingdom of heaven. Nothing entering to disturb your peace of mind. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the resting place. Where nothing is disturbing you, that's the resting place. Where your Creator has placed you forever. So remind yourself, I am sustained by the love of God. 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 We are 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 sustained by the love of God. They are sustained by the love. All those people you're concerned about, they are sustained by the love of God. They are sustained by the love of God, and I am sustained by the love of God. 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 I am sustained by the love of love. Every time I hear that, I always get a chance to admit to myself how faithless I am. That's what I love about the Course in Miracles. It gets me completely out of denial. I have much too much fear about one thing or another, or lack of peace about one thing or another, for me to sit up here and pretend that I have faith completely, that I'm sustained by my Creator. Faith and fear are paradoxical. So the first thing the Course taught me about allowing the universe to provide for me and to heal things for me is I had to admit to myself that I was afraid, that I think I'm separate, and that I really don't know what being one with God really is, and I don't really believe I am, or I wouldn't be afraid. So get out of denial so you can be helped. The Course talks about how it's basically 1,122 pages of convincing us to let ourselves be helped. I thought that was hilarious. It takes a 3-volume set of books to get me to let myself be helped. That's kind of pitiful. But it's be innocent. We cute, so it's okay. We crazy, but we cute. We just keep our mouths closed. We always have companionship. So you want to have a relationship that lasts forever, go. You'll be all right. I'm giving you the first step to awakening. The first step to awakening is to tell yourself, nothing that I experience is caused by anything outside of me. I experience only the effects of my own choice. I'll say it again. If you want the problem that you think you have on your mind to be solved, tell yourself without necessarily believing it, because if you think you have to believe it, you're going to probably think you shouldn't say it because you don't believe it. So this is a spiritual path for people who don't believe. The Creator is so smart that there is no way and no situation or any predicament you can put yourself in that you can't be reached and healed. So even if you have a lack of faith, a doubt, and you're deep in denial, and you're not willing to admit anything about yourself, or that you just go unconscious immediately as soon as I say hello, you're still going to be reached and healed, and everything's going to be okay. Something loves you more than you know you love yourself. There's something smarter than you. And you didn't create yourself, and I didn't create myself. There's nothing you can come up with that hasn't already been answered. The only answers that have not worked have been the ones you thought of. That's how you can tell the difference between your solutions and the solutions of God. Your solutions are the one you're still working on. And the solutions that come from infinite intelligence have already been given, waiting for you to get out of the way long enough to receive them and have some fun in the meantime. Spirit needs a happy learner.
Yay.
Somebody that's willing to make errors in their perception and still continue to feel good about themselves as they keep going deeper into letting go of the blocks. Nobody's expecting you to do this perfectly all the time. Except you. Nobody's harder on you than you. There's no need to have an external torturer. Your internal torturer never rests. It never takes off days. Even on holidays, you can feel like crap. So this lets you know that the part of you that hates your friggin' guts, it's totally sure of its purpose. It never takes a break. And the part of you that loves you, the part of you that adores you, the part of you that knows you deserve infinite joy, the part of you that knows you deserve infinite abundance, loving relationships, eternal life, support, that part of you also is certain of its purpose, and it never takes a holiday. You're the one that needs to make up your mind. That's what the Course told me. Say, you're the one that go back and forth between listening to the voice for you that loves you and the voice for you that doesn't. You're the one that's not consistent. And then you see that duality in your world, and what you call up and down days, which just means days you're listening to the truth in you and days you're not. But you call it up and down. Waiting for, Raj, something outside of you to save you, somebody to save you, from circumstance to save you, especially if you can just lose that 10 pounds.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You're trying to fix yourself in order to be loved. The only person you got to fix yourself in order to be loved by is somebody that doesn't love you in the first place. So if you want to know who loves you and who doesn't, it's who's trying to change you and who's not. Hello? Isn't it great that it also says we don't have to believe this? That we don't have to accept it? That we don't have to welcome it? That some of this is going to be hard to believe and quite startling? I love it that it tells me straight up, look, Earl, you don't even have to believe this. Guess what? Your understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. Your understanding does not make it true or not true. I'm sorry, your understanding really isn't contributing anything to the truth of anything. I went, dog, that smacked my specialist right in the face. Because I always approach situations like I was the arbiter of what's real. In other words, I would come to gatherings like this and I would sit up and I would go, if I agree with what that person is saying, then it's the truth. But if it's different from what I think, it's not. And that's why I would go to everything I would go to. I'm the one who determines the truth. Now, I'm also the one that's suicidal. But I haven't made the connection between maybe that's not that me, I should be guiding me through what's the thing I should be doing. But we don't get that quickly. Actually, we think we're most correct when we're most afraid, we're most correct when we're most upset, we're most correct when we're the most angry. That's when we have a tendency to think we must be right, because I wouldn't be this mad about nothing. You always mad about nothing. Earl. So don't take what I'm saying personally, unless, of course, it applies to you. Because feel okay about accepting it for yourself. Okay. And if it seems like it doesn't apply to you, then also accept it as applying to you also.
Earl?
Yes.
When I open my eyelids in the morning.
When you do what? I can't hear you. Talk louder.
When I open my eyelids in the morning, I don't know, not another day of this illusion. I know I got approximately 30, 40 more years to go. Now there's periods of peace, actual peace, there's periods of happiness, and those periods where that part of my mind that hates myself is active. Now, is it ever going to go dormant?
It'll never go dormant as long as you're here.
Yeah.
But you just will stop letting it direct your actions. It would be like you're going, okay, thank you for sharing. But I'm going to choose for God. You never gonna win right here. Nobody really likes you. You don't really like nobody. You can't really trust nobody. It's all a pitiful place. Let's get the hell out of here. This doesn't work. Go kill yourself. Go kill yourself. Yeah, I look at that part of me. It's been there since I was a little boy. And I said, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. But over here, I'm going to listen to I am sustained by the love of God. Through the love of God within me, I can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See, I don't have to believe that, but my willingness to say that is an indication to spirit that I'm willing to move in the direction of love.
Yes.
Because all it's asking for is a little bit of willingness, not for me to believe everything I'm saying, because if I already believed it, I wouldn't have any need to study it. So belief isn't necessary. Your belief doesn't have anything to do with the truth. Belief has everything to do with your perception. What you call yourself seeing is based on belief. But the truth is beyond your belief. It's true whether you believe it or not. Thank God there's something that's solid that I can depend on beyond my ever constantly changing perceptions of who I am from moment to moment. You are not what you think. That's the biggest bunch of crap I heard somebody say. You are what you think. You're not what you think. You experience what you think. But you're not it. There is something stable to know in you. There is something real in you that's beyond the games you play and the games I play. That's totally lovable and totally divine and totally free. Now you just learned, and I just learned a bunch of crap that makes us not believe it and therefore not see it, and then draw people to us who reinforce it, which further convinces us it must be true because we see it all around us and we don't know it's coming from our own beliefs and not from reality, but from our own beliefs. So you cannot use your physical experience to prove anything other than what you believe. So I would never argue with the person about their experience, because their experience is going to be what they believe. If they believe they can't trust people and people are no good, they're going to draw untrustworthy, no good people to validate their belief. So of course they're going to be able to tell you, I can tell you about this person, that person, this other person that hurt me, and this other person that hurt me, and this other person that hurt me. Yeah, you believe that people hurt you. So they keep showing up to show you that you're true about that. But you can't use that for any proof that there couldn't be only love in your life. But you have to fit in with love for you to meet those people. I have to be the way that I want the people around me to be. I can't keep expecting people to show up with qualities that I'm not exemplifying because they just love to hang out with dysfunctional men.
Vice versa.
Exactly. Every time somebody tells me the qualities of the people that they like to hang out with, the first thing I ask them is, would a person like that want to hang out with you? The person was intelligent and rich and spiritual and conscious and fun and confident, would they want to hang out with you? Well, I got, pretty good looking eyes. They just look at me. They want me. That's why I work on my appearance so much. I know none of y'all know anything about what I'm talking about. I love it when the Course says, when someone says back to us what we think and do all the time, we always look baffled. Like, really? Of course we know we pay attention to our physical appearance because we're concerned about how we'll be perceived by other people.
Yeah, sure.
Of course we know that we have these types of things, but when someone says it back, of course we know there are parts of us that hates our friggin' guts and doesn't know that we're loving and know that we're cool. Anybody that's honest with themselves know that, but they'll sit up in a group and say, really? I love everybody. But I'm here to tell all y'all, I don't love everybody. I want to. But I have lacks of love within myself for me that I project onto them that keeps me from loving them. And so I won't get rid of those blocks until I stop pretending that they aren't there. Being spiritual doesn't mean lying to yourself all day about how you are. That's called being human. Because even being human ultimately is a lie. Why do you think it's so hard? Do you think the truth would be this hard? If you really were made for the environment that you created for yourself, would you really be having such a challenge about the issue you got a challenge about right now? If you were really in your natural environment? The Course says, how can you tell that when you're not in your natural environment? It's a struggle. You're afraid. You don't feel peaceful. You're not happy. You don't feel inspired. Well, that pretty much wiped out everything in my life. I got to start all over from scratch. Thank God. Have you ever been in school and the teacher just went up to the chalkboard and erased everything? That's where you at. And you freak out. Like right now, if your life is in complete turmoil and chaos and you're confused and you don't know what the hell is going on, it means you probably have let go of your old ways of looking at something and you may be actually entertaining having a new life. But we tell ourselves, I'm going to go through that transition without any conflict. And so we beat ourselves up about the conflict that we're going through and the natural changes that you go through in a transition from one way of being to another one. You're not going to do that without some form of disorientation and confusion, and it's foolish to think so. It's foolish to think you're going to become enlightened and never go, huh? Anybody hear me out there? Loud and clear? Okay. So today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, generosity. It's not about some trying to get you to cat. I knew it. It was a spiritual environment. I knew it was going to get around talking about generosity. That's all they want is my money that I don't have. Okay. And just like anything else with A Course in Miracles, its definition of generosity is going to rock your world. And that's what I love about it. It's on page 14 in the teacher's manual. So this is where I want to do it in order to get through it. This is where I want to do it in order to get through it. There's a point I want to make, and then I'm going to throw it open for question. Okay, because what happens if you do it, if you question me while I'm speaking, it's probably more because you're feeling threatened by what I'm saying than the need to know your answer, according to the Course. Did you hear me? Like the Course says, when the mind is hearing something that's threatening to it because it's not ready to give that idea up, the way that it tries to block the information that's coming is to say, I got a question. Because that interrupts that stream of thought that they're hearing that's stretching them in that moment. Now, the part of me that likes to play that game knows I can hear that. But that's what the Course says. So I said, well, okay, this is what I do. I'll say what I got to say and then say, let's throw it open for questions. And it's interesting how many times I do that and there aren't any. But if I'm speaking, there's lots of them. Could there be some threatening things that's being said that a part of us doesn't want to hear? And what part of that is it that doesn't want to hear how you could be truly abundant by learning what true generosity is? Except a part of you that believes that lack protects it. There's a part of you that believes that having lack protects you. Especially if you have any resentment toward anyone that you see with any form of abundance at all. That includes abundance of money. How could I want to experience that which I am condemning? So if I got something, so if I'm bad-mouthing somebody else with something, then if I try to give it to myself, I'm going to frighten myself with it. Deep in it. Anybody know you don't have to believe this? Generosity. I'm going to use the Course in Miracles definitions for the terms to give you a modern language version of this paragraph. Can I do that? In other words, the Course has its own definitions for everything it says. And I'm going to just substitute the definition, not that I make up, but one of the definitions that the Course gives, which is basically always love or fear. Okay? So let's say the term, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. The term generosity has special meaning to the teacher of God. Could be said, the term generosity has special meanings to the demonstrator of love. See the difference? It's not the usual meaning of the word generosity. So we're not talking about the usual meaning of the word generosity. In fact, it is a meaning of generosity, amplified version, that must be learned and learned very carefully. So how do we need to learn this? Very carefully. Very, very, very carefully. Sometimes I put stuff when I'm studying in weird voices so I remember it more. You know, R. You know, I'm in a pirate course. This should be learned very, very carefully. Like all the other attributes of love's teachers, this attribute, this one, rests ultimately on trust. So what? Generosity rests on trust. For without trust, no one can be generous in the true sense. Without trust, you're going to be tight, stingy. Stingy people don't trust. People who don't give don't trust. Don't take it personally. Unless it applies to you. I'll keep repeating. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then it says, to the world, generosity means giving it away. That if to the world, I give you my watch, I've just given my watch away. In the sense of what? Giving up. So this, I love this. But to a teacher of God, to a demonstrator of love, to a demonstrator of truth, to a teacher of truth, generosity means giving away in order to keep. Give it away in order to keep it. 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 Why do you think people keep so much anger? They give it away all day. Why do you think people experience so much worry and upset? They give it away all day. That's why people who mad all the time be mad all the time. They wonder why they can't get rid of their anger. They're letting everybody know how mad they are and upset they are all day. They're giving it away and they're keeping it. That is not true of a person who's giving peace. I guarantee you, a person that's peaceful is not experiencing an increase in anger. But people who are angry are increasing their anger because they let everybody know how angry they are with them all the time about every little freaking thing they're going through. And anger is the greatest way of witnessing back to yourself that you're taking no responsibility for how you feel. Because you're saying that that person spoke or acted differently, then you wouldn't be so mad as if controlling everybody around you to act the way you want them to act is the key to your happiness. It ain't gonna work. Sure ain't gonna work on me. So I'm gonna be your first frustration right there. So you can just count on up from there. I love you too much to let you think you can control me in order to make you happy. That would be not a loving way for me to be, because that would convince you that controlling others works. Now, you might call me selfish and you might get mad at me, but I'm really doing you a favor by letting you know that you don't have any power over my happiness and I have no power over yours. That's good news. That means at any given moment you could be joyful. Even if your bill's unpaid right now, even if you've been given 3 months to live, even if it looks like you'll never get rid of your foot odor. You can have stinky feet and be happy. I know. This is not theoretical here. I'm dealing with theoretical stuff. Would you pass that around, baby? You're looking at a fabulous actress right here. Okay, now. Okay. Did anybody feel that that happens when the truth hits you when I say give it away in order to keep it? You went Yeah. That's what I want you to pay attention now. What part of you would go The part of you that doesn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
Right.
The part of me that doesn't think I have enough.
Right. The part of you that doesn't think you have enough. And so, okay, here's the key to listening to the Course in Miracles without a lot of resistance. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
All right. Always remember that first and foremost, the Course in Miracles is always talking about perception, ideas. It's not talking about your child. It's not talking about your house. It's not talking about your car. It's not talking about your favorite clothes in the closet. It's not saying give them away in order to keep them. It's talking about the ideas that you want to keep in your mind that heal you and bring you peace. You need to start to give them so you can keep them in your mind. I am teaching this class and I'm sharing ideas of freedom and joy and oneness and all that good stuff because I want to keep those ideas in my mind, strong in my mind, uppermost in my mind, because whatever I focus on is what I perceive in my world. Because everything in your world, and listen to me now, everything in your world is a reflection of your belief. So there's nothing more important than what you are telling yourself, the mind talk you're giving yourself all day long. So if I want to experience freedom in my world, I'd better start sharing some ideas of freedom in my world in order to keep the idea of freedom in my world. And therefore perceive what? Freedom in my world. I don't care what you're being presented with right now in your life. I don't care how painful it is right now in any area of your life. That's the result of a belief that you have accepted. And if you want a new situation, Earl, then you must think new thoughts. Sorry. I can't think thoughts of hate and expect love back until I'm willing to bring the hate out of repression and hiddenness and say I have hateful thoughts. And those thoughts are my request for help, love, truth. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So, true generosity doesn't mean giving away in order to keep. Does it mean giving away in order to keep?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It sounded like you said doesn't. I think
Does
we
it?
were confused.
That's
or
okay.
maybe that was just my mind rearranging.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Maybe some part of you maybe just didn't want to hear that way, you know. Don't worry, I don't take it personally. The Course in Miracles has already taught me how all of you are going to respond to what I'm saying and also how I'm going to respond to it's already in the book. It's the best psychology book on the planet. It gives you such insight into the psychological nature of people that you will feel almost just spooky. You get to the point to how well you can predict what everybody's going to do around you who believes they're separate and believes in guilt and sin and fear. It describes exactly what they're going to do in a relationship, exactly what they're going to do in every area of their life. And you watch yourself and all your friends and relatives who still think that they're just separate beings act out what this book says they're going to do in their own special way, in such a way it will blow your mind. It tells you, because it says we think that we are a mystery, but we're not. That's just our perception of ourselves. It says you're not a mystery at all. I can tell you exactly what a mind that thinks it's separate and afraid is going to do. I can tell you exactly what a mind that believes that it's joined and loved is going to do. Here's a good example. It says love always waits on welcome. It never enters of its own volition. It never forces itself on you. Fear always will. So, someone who's trying to force themselves on you in any way, they're never coming from love. Period. Whether that's trying to convince you of something you don't want to be convinced of, or to get you to do something that you don't really want to do, there is no such thing as coming from love and forcing your will on someone. Yes, but, 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 yes, but. Did I cover everybody's yes buts? Okay. Your yes, okay, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. Yes, but, yes, but, yes, but what about, but what about, what about, what about, but what about, but what about, but what about, but what about? Okay, I got that out, okay. All right, now, then it's, but if I love you, I'm waiting for some indication that I am welcomed, that you want to receive me, that you want to receive it. Shoulda, gotta, oughta, not love. Shoulda, gotta, oughta, not love. Shoulda, gotta, oughta isn't love. Deep in it. And I had to learn that it wasn't about me understanding how to get from that fearful place to the loving place, that the Course in Miracles taught me that my only responsibility was to be willing to head in the direction of love and truth. I mean, what? I'm not asking you to come up with how to get to a state of mind by yourself where you have no fear about everything and you know you're being taken care of. I'm not asking you to come up with how to do that. I'm only asking you to have a little bit of willingness to move in the direction of your own friggin' peace, Earl. How is none of your business. You already know you don't know how. That can't be your business. You don't have a freaking idea how. How could you be the how person? But you could be willing. That's completely capable, right? And the Course asks for just the right amount of willingness. A little bit. I can do a little bit of anything. I can have a little bit of faith in y'all. I can have a little bit of peace. I can have a little bit of love. I can do little. Anybody can do a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, that's all that's being required.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Can you do just a little bit? Okay, I'm going to prove to you that you can do a little bit. I'm going to give you a present moment experience of the truth right now. Would you like that?
Yes.
You're here.
That's
At the price of gas, that's more than a little bit. I filled up this morning, and it filled up faster than I realized I wanted it to fill up, but I was glad it filled up. But I was going to put a little bit over here, come over there later, because I wanted to get my car washed over here. And so, before I looked up, the whole thing had filled up my car. They must know people are going to get scared. So now they fill up the car in 2 seconds. All of them, it's like, oh man, that's the whole $40 right there, you know. My point is, if there's a way for me to be in a state of mind that I don't worry about stuff like that, I want to be in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what motivates me. If there's a way for me to be in relationships that I'm constantly not going through the same ups and downs of fear and guilt and anger broken into by periods in which it seems to be gone, I want to have that. If there's a way for me to not be afraid to cross Colfax Avenue, I want to have that state of mind. But even God said that was too much. Kofax, I'm drawing the line. That's beyond God's ability. I saw this guy last night. It just freaked me out. I was like, okay, this guy's he's getting ready to make the choice of whether to die right now. And I'm going to choose, I'm going to side with him living. Because I saw him in the dark, across the street on his bicycle, on the busiest part of Colfax, early in the morning, and this car was barreling down. Now, you can just see something and you watching it, and the person, and you just looking at this, and and immediately I went, let Jesus stand from my mind to yours. You know what I'm saying? Let me shoot some love around this brother right now. I choose for God. It's like a lot of stuff. Now, he had to die, and I would have to accept that was just his time to go. Okay? Yeah. And you will have your time to, you'll have your time to go, right? Now, some of y'all going to be all dramatic. You go. Some of y'all going to be mysterious. Earl just disappeared. He'll never to be seen again. Some of y'all gonna be violent. We all got our different ways that we lead. But whatever put us here must want us to be able to leave whenever we get ready, because there's millions of ways you can go, but only one way you come. You ever thought about that? We generally only get here one way. Leaving here, you could do it 100 different ways right in this very room. So nothing's keeping us in the body. I know. Okay, leaving the body, it seems like it can be done in a multitude of ways. Like right in this room, so I could jam this microphone down your throat, you go.
That makes for clarifying.
Yeah, I'm trying to get real. You know what I'm saying? And we all are going to leave the body at some point. We all are. Like people are worried about the end of the world. Everybody's going to have the end of the world. So since I'm aware of that, I try to get new perceptions of death, new perceptions of transition, new perceptions of moving to another level, rather than fight that fact. Rather than spend all my time trying to figure out how to have the eternal life that I already have anyway. Nope, I'm not going to wear this outfit forever, but I'm not this outfit. I'm sorry, you're not going to wear your body outfit forever. Thank God. Who wants to be able to catch a cold forever? It's so funny. But if you think that's the only existence that you have, that's the only life that you have, that's the only thing that exists for you, of course you're going to cling to it with every little ounce of effort that you can come up with out of your unconsciousness of your spiritual identity. And then you'll be spending all your time trying to make something last that's temporary, instead of enjoying it while it lasts as you move on to the next level of your development in love. That's deep, isn't it? And then we think we are these bodies that all we're trying to do is hang on to and protect. Then we come up with the stupidest idea of all, which is guilt and sin, so that then we don't enjoy anything we do with it. It's a stupid plan. I think I'm temporary, and I'm going to make myself feel guilty about everything I do while I'm in this temporary form. So that most of the time, instead of enjoying my body, I'm in therapy. Or some form of trying to fix what's wrong with me, where I could be really enjoying myself. These classes are about remembering that you're innocent, remembering that you're loved, remembering that you're eternal, remembering that we're connected, remembering that you deserve to be happy, remembering that you're powerful, remembering that you're not a victim, remembering that you can change. I'm not here to do anything but to remind you of what you already know and what I already know, so that we won't forget it. And if we don't forget it, we will perceive it and experience the joy that we deserve in our life. Because without each other reminding each other of these new ways of seeing things, we're just going to be be hearing all that stuff we're telling ourselves through our subconscious mind out there and believe that we are controlled by outer circumstances and economic conditions and who you know and who you like and who you have and your education and blah, 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 blah. That's just a lie. You're sustained by the love of God, by that which created you, that which you are, that which is ready to guide you anytime you're willing to admit you're miserable, you don't know in that area. I'm afraid I don't know in this area. I'm upset. I'm getting ready to do a workshop in a couple of weeks that I don't know what's going to happen in a way, because we all have preconceived notions about what it's going to be like. You know what I'm saying? And all I know is the Holy Spirit is telling me to take some approaches that people aren't used to me taking in terms of going deep and getting out of denial and getting real and focusing on the truth at a level that we normally don't do. And I'm excited about that. Because I don't know about you, but I have reached my limit in some areas of my life right now. I am not going to continue in some ways that I've continued in my life right now. And that's always scary, because there will be people before that limit and people after that limit. But you all know what I'm talking about. When you reach that point that you know what? It's time for me to love myself, to give myself peace. And you can know how you can tell when you probably reach that point? It won't have anything to do with anybody else. I'll say that one more time. How can you tell when you reached your limit and you're really ready to have, if nothing in your solution will involve anyone else changing but you? Any other solution that you come up with, you still on the old track. I'm going to start giving away in order to keep. I'm going to give freedom away in order to keep it, giving away love in order to keep it, giving away patience in order to keep it, giving away faith in order to keep it, giving away fun in order to keep it. And I'm going to be so hardcore with it that everyone that's not ready to do that level of going into that, they just take themselves out of my experience. Yeah. That's the way it works. Because first thing you're going to do is you're going to put them to sleep. You know, sometimes when I'm talking hardcore truth, I watch somebody go to sleep right in front of my face. This is in a regular conversation. I'm not talking about in a class. I'm talking about just sitting down. You know, I'm talking about, you know, it's like, baby. Yeah. because their mind is so unwilling to hear what they think I'm saying that it tries to take them unconscious. Yeah. That's the way it works. Okay? But just try it sometime. Be talking the truth. You create your reality. I'm responsible for what happens to me. I'm going to change my own mind. I'm going to move in my own direction. Nobody's done anything to me. That's nobody for me to blame. I'm the creator of my... But if you say, then right in the middle of that, I said, boy, the neighbor across the street had the blinds open last night. What? Pure awareness. I saw so-and-so out with somebody else besides their girlfriend. What? I'm sustained by the love of God. And then wake right up and say, I want the truth more than anything. I love you too. And I want to love you. You know what I'm saying? Those are my only two wishes with anybody in here. I love you, I want to. That's it. Those are my only two states of mind. I love you, I want to. Is that true or very true?
Very, very true.
Are you cute? Is that true or very true?
Very true.
Are you juicy?
Yeah.
Very true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Are you powerful?
Yeah.
Very true.
Do you sometimes forget it?
Very true.
Do you sometimes form relationships that help you forget it?
Very
Do you sometimes form relationships that help you remember your power?
Yes.
And those are all reflections of your relationship with yourself. Don't you acknowledge yourself here in this month of being powerful, loving, incredible, using, being. Woo! All right, let's do the love offering right quick, and then I'm gonna do a quick little thing before we go out. Oh, ow, ow, ow. I'll mess around and have fun on you in a minute. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna say one thing. I give it away in order to keep it.
I give it away in order to keep it.
I give it away in order to keep it. I give it away in order to keep it. I give it away in order to keep it. Lord, I give it away in order to keep it. Truth, I give it away in order to keep it. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I give it away in order to keep it.
Give it
Away in order. I give away what? I give away the love in order to keep it. I give away the love in order to keep it. I give away the love in order to keep it. I give away the love in order to keep it. I give away the joy in order to keep it. I give away the joy in order to keep it. I give away my joy in order to keep it. I give away my joy in order to keep it. I give away the truth in order to keep it. I give away the truth in order to keep it. I give away forgiveness in order to keep it. I give away forgiveness in order to keep it. I give away forgiveness in order to keep it. I give away forgiveness in order. Now remember this, all that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. Say what? All that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. Say what? All that I give is given to myself. Say what? All that I give is given to myself.
Yeah.
All that I give is given to myself. And I say I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love. We're gonna try one thing. I want to ask somebody in here. I want you to play with me one time. Anybody that feels like it. We're going to claim we're sustained by the love of God. And I'd like to ask you to say it with enthusiasm out loud. Don't give a damn what anybody else is doing in this room. And let your exuberance in your life flow come out. Are you willing to do it?
Yeah!
Are you willing to get out your box for just one freaking minute? Are you willing to do something different than what you normally do? Are you willing to try not to be afraid just one little time? Are you willing to play 1 minute? Can you handle 1 minute? Are we advanced enough to handle 1 minute? Can we do it? Ask somebody, can you do it? Look around you, ask somebody, can you do it? Let's move it now. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. Scare 'em. I am sustained by the love of God. 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 Give it up! I love y'all and I want to love you. Hugs are available Thursday night, Course of Love. Take it with you now. Give what you want to receive today.
Yay!